Hi, my dear children, good morning. This is our third module. Let us continue. Revolution of 1905. Russia was an autocracy. Unlike other European rulers, even at the beginning of 20th century, the Tsar was not subject to parliament. Liberals in Russia campaigned to end this state of affairs. Together with the Social Democrats and Socialist revolutionaries, they worked with the peasants and workers during the Revolution of 1905 to demand a constitution. They were supported in the empire by nationalists and Muslim-dominated areas by Jihadists who wanted a modernized Islam to lead their societies. The year 1904 was particularly bad one for Russian workers. Price of essential goods rose so quickly that real wages declined by 20%. The membership of workers' associations rose dramatically. When four members of the Assembly of Russian workers, which had been formed in 1904, were dismissed at the Putlov Iron Works, there was a call for industrial action. Over the next few days in St. Petersburg, a strike which demanded a reduction in working day to 8 hours, an increase in wages and improvement in working conditions. When the procession of workers led by Father Gapan reached the Winter Palace, it was attacked by the police and the Cossacks. Over 100 workers were killed and about 300 wounded. The incident, known as Bloody Sunday, started a series of events that became known as the 1905 Revolution. Strikes took place all over the country and universities closed down when student bodies staged a walkout, complaining about the lack of civil liberties. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, and other middle-class workers established the Union of Unions and demanded a constituent assembly. During the 1905 revolution, the Tsar allowed the creation of an elected consultative parliament or Duma. For a brief while during the revolution, there existed a large number of trade unions and factory committees made up of factory workers. After 1905, most committees and unions worked unofficially since they were declared illegal. Severe restrictions were placed on political activity. The Tsar dismissed the first Duma within 75 days and the re-elected second Duma within 3 months. He did not want any questioning of his authority or any reduction in his power. He changed the voting laws and packed the third Duma with conservative politicians. Liberals and revolutionaries were kept out. February Revolution in Petrograd. In the winter of 1917, conditions in the capital, Petrograd, were grim. The layout of the city seemed to emphasize the divisions among its people. The workers' quarters and factories were located on the right bank of the river Neva. On the left bank were the fashionable areas, the Winter Palace and official buildings, including the palace where the Duma met. In February 1917, food shortage were deeply felt in the workers' quarters. The winter was very cold. There had been exceptional frost and heavy snow. The parliamentarians wishing to preserve elected government were opposed to the Tsar's desire to dissolve the Duma. On 22nd February, a lockout took place at a factory on the right bank. The next day, workers in 50 factories called a strike in sympathy. In many factories, women led the way to strikes. This came to be called the International Women's Day. Demonstrating workers crossed from the factory quarters to the center of capital. At this stage, no political party was actively organizing the movement. As the fashionable quarters and official buildings were surrounded by workers, the government imposed a curfew. Demonstrators dispersed by the evening, but they came back on the 24th and 25th. The government called out the cavalry and the police to keep an eye on them. Hi, let's stop for the time being. Read the textbook well. only the pages we selected, and try to find the answer to these questions. Thank you.